funny anymore.
What is up, Jabronis? JJ back here with Joey Work, Holden, having a little sidebar conversation as we're going through the intro. You love to see it. How we doing, boys? It's been a long week.
Why?
I feel like it's just been a longer week than normal for me. I can't speak to what you guys have experienced or haven't experienced, but for me it has.
Yeah, personally, it's been the same 7 days from last Friday or last Sunday to me. But yeah, we're here.
Come for the analysis. Stay for JJ saying stupid shit. I guess. Been fine. I don't know. I got the COVID. I got vaccinated. I got the COVID. That's not good. So it's been a shitty week. JJ, you got a problem with that?
Oh wow! So you're vaccinated already too?
Yeah. They call it a breakthrough.
Yeah, break through my ass.
They can go break through their face. I'm done with this shit.
So this is. I mean, some severe willpower here. I mean, you just did another show before this. You're doing this show.
Yeah.
I mean, what an inspiration.
Well, I know. Joey shamed me
into showing up. I told JJ, I was like, he doesn't look good on the DFS show. I think he should stay and rest. That's literally what I said.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I gotta give my best bet.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll get out of here.
Great.
All right.
That's why the people are here anyway.
Let's bang it. Let's bang it early, Holden.
Oh, by the way, there's one pick, Joey, that I'm just. What are you doing with the Orioles money line? Why would you bet on such a shitty team, especially without Cedric Mullins?
Okay, have you seen the Orioles record after the All-Star break, or are you just throwing that out?
Amazing.
You're just not paying attention.
Yeah, makes me
okay.
Yeah,
they're 9-4 since the break. Yeah, and they get the better starter in here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a better bullpen of the two as well.
All
right.
JJ, should I tail him on that one if I don't like it, or
no? Don't bet it. You don't have to. We'll win the money. You don't have to bet it. We'll win the money, and then later you'll say, "Oh,
JJ's frozen."
Yeah, I think the price makes sense for the Orioles. I do.
You like it?
Yeah.
All right, I'll tail him. I'm gonna go with the Rockies first 5 money line again. We can go do that.
What's that number at?
It was like what did I get it at this morning? 130 or something. Not as good as yesterday's price. Yesterday's price was terrific. But guess who has a better record over the last 53 games? The Rockies are 27-26, and the Padres are 26-27, and the Padres do not have Tatis. So I like that look. And then the other games I'm looking at. Just
JJ, should I tail him? What do you think?
I don't want you to tail me. I don't want you to win money.
I think the Rockies had value last night.
Not today. You don't like that today. Braves team total, terrific weather, winds blowing out. Got a nice little matchup today. Any thoughts on the Braves this afternoon?
I haven't loved what I've seen from their lineup recently. I mean, yesterday they were a bit bailed out by Dansby Swampson's 7 RBIs. But overall, their lineup, despite having a bunch of big names and new names, hasn't exactly been doing all that much with the sticks. But again, I continue to say that Sundays has been the weirdest things that have happened all week. So they haven't been really hitting relatively well. Maybe today's the day they collectively as a team string together hits.
I was talking about Cedric Mullins being out. Joey Votto, for some reason, is out. Who knows why? Vladimir Guerrero is out today. So when you guys are betting, make sure you look at these lineups. It's that Sunday lineup stuff. And I think it's something that I really started doing as we gotten into the season. And I don't know why I forgot for so long, but betting the morning of. If it costs me a couple of cents, but I know who's in the lineup, I think that matters big time. Like if you guys
Sunday definitely matters more than every other day for sure. I mean, you see more people resting on Sundays than any other day of the week.
Congratulations to you, JJ, for beating your father. And not only that, just being dead in the water, being completely you were awful. And you raised that in your grave. Like
I'll go as far to say that I think he was more. He just started hot. I think
you were bad.
The lowest I was minus I think 0.9. I mean,
you were bad. Weren't you like 5? I thought you were 5 units down. I mean,
well, I was 5 down from him because he was up 4 and I was down.
Yeah, he was off he was just rolling with the Tigers. All right, my next one.
It's officially over though.
Huh? It's over. 10 games.
It's over. I thought he put out like a plus 330 today. Try to catch up.
He did it. It went overnight. That was a
Copy.
Mariners team total. Oh, you already had that.
Can we go through the games? What are you doing here?
No, I'm leaving in a second.
All right, so don't just announce all my plays to the fucking
I didn't
people.
know that
like,
was
what are you doing?
That was your play.
he's like, here, guys. Before I go, here's who Joey likes.
Yeah.
No, I wrote that down this morning. I like that, and then Joey has it. The last one would be White Sox Cleveland and the White Sox team total. Anything on the White Sox today, boys? Nice weather again, and they get Cal Quantrill. Anything? Jimmy Lambert for the White Sox with Reynaldo Lopez. Can we just go the game over 9.5?
So the only thing I would say there, Holden, the only thing that took me off the game was there is a severely under umpire in that game. Four unders, 15 overs, which again, not enough to really move the needle for me entirely, but enough to push me off if I'm on the fence. So yeah, but again, just
my play today is a play that the guys hate. It is the Rockies first 5 money line.
Hate's a strong word.
Yeah, I know.
I saw your face. It was like,
when you're getting plus money, there's not really anything to hate on. But if you gave out that minus 1,600, we would have hated it. Yeah.
Okay, boys.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, get some rest. Drink some Gatorade.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe rub one out.
Thanks for hanging out, Holden. See you later. Hit the X button. That's how you leave. All right. Holy hell. Let's get some energy back in his place, all right? Nice shirt, JJ. We're here.
Like it's almost like I got over the COVID situation I was dealing with, and then I'm right back in it. I'm right back in it at the start of the show. But no, honestly, hopefully Holden, gets better and feels better because he looks a little tired to say the least. So guys, what's going on? I see Jackie's as always big in the chat. DB, Kyle. Folks, don't be shy. Throw some comments in the chat, whether games you like or games you don't like, questions you have. Me and Joey will start running down the slate. I know we're a little late here, but Holden gave you some bets. I don't even know which ones to type. He gave out like 5.
Yeah.
He
was excited to, give his best bet and get out of here, so he started rattling them off.
All right. So we could start Nats, Cubs, and actually this is my best bet. So first 5 under 4.5. FanDuel had this lined as of 5 minutes before this show. I was kind of looking at different spots to see where this number would be or could be because there's been some scattered lines in the first 5 specifically. But under 4.5 plus 112 FanDuel to me is a really strong look. First of all, you look at these lineups and what they've been. It's yesterday. There was the run outburst inning from the Cubs, which was nice for them, of course. But look at these lineups up and down. Once you get past hitter number 5 for both teams, these are tough parts of the lineup to watch or look at. They have Victor Robles leading off for the Nats. What is that? Is that dude hitting like 220? It's just like you got Carter Kieboom, Adrian Sanchez, Reed Rivera at the bottom of that Nats lineup, and then Robinson Chirinos is making like a brief return, I guess. Alcantara's again at the bottom. Hayward just seems like an automatic out these days. And I know these 2 pitchers aren't great. Fetty hasn't been awful, and Alzolay's been good and bad. But again, I just feel like you're getting some severe watered down lineups here, and it's not like super warm today. It's warm, but it's not like super warm, so the ball's not going to have some crazy carry today in Nats Park. So overall, that's my best bet from the whole video. First 5 under 4.5. I like that all the way up to what do you get? Minus 110, minus 115, whatever you get. Because to me, plus 112 is like just an auto fire anyway. But 110 makes a lot of sense. What do you think, Joey?
Yeah, I like your look there. Team's definitely watered down. Lineup's not very impressive either. So I'm definitely with you there.
All right, so next game, and I'll pass this to you, and then I'll type my bet. Pirates, Phils. Now, I have some takes on this game, Joey, but I'll hear your thoughts first. Mitch Keller, Kyle Gibson, lined right now, Philly minus 150-ish, total 8.5, 9, pending your book. What are your thoughts on this one?
So Gibson gets his first start here after getting traded over from the Rangers. He should have some success here, especially, an easier road in the NL. And obviously Mitch Keller is back. He hasn't pitched in a major since June 10th. He was pitching in AAA. Previously, he had a 7.04 ERA, 12 starts in the majors. And then in AAA, he made 8 starts, 3.21 ERA, 39 strikeouts, 13 walks in 28 innings. So he pitched pretty good down there. Can he keep the momentum? That's, to be in question. Time will tell. But I mean, I guess it's a Philly or pass for me here. Maybe stay with first 5 because I wouldn't want to lose a bet after getting to that disastrous Phillies bullpen. But otherwise, I'm just off this game.
Yeah, so for me, in the current state Phillies in, it's very difficult for me to like them in any fashion as a $1.50 favorite. They're just really not hitting right now in this stretch, and they're actually potentially going to get swept in this series. But when a team's not hitting, what's the perfect recipe is a pitcher that consistently puts free guys on base. Mitch Keller is very tough to watch pitch these days. Not that he's ever been good to or fun to watch or good to watch, but he has shown some flashes of brilliance in brief stints throughout his short career thus far in the majors. To me, I would like the under with Gibson going to the National League and this Pirates lineup a bit with a few guys sitting for them, and they're already, they already traded some key bats in their lineup as it is. However, it is any total involving Mitch Keller, it makes it tough for me to want to back. Now you can maybe go Pirates team total under, but they've hit really well in this series. So overall, I'm going to pass on this one, but I think it's tough to love any side of this game, knowing how the Phillies look coming into this game and knowing how good the Pirates have swung the bats in this series. So overall, but then again, Mitch Keller to me cancels it all out. So I'm just going to stay away from this one. All right. So Blue Jays, Royals, Jose Berrios, Brad Keller. Berrios making his debut for the Jays. I believe this is a debut for the Jays.
Yep.
So like I said yesterday, I wanted to back the Royals team total over 3.5. The problem was Manoah. I think I'm pronouncing that right. The pitcher for the Jays yesterday. It was really good. It's really good versus right-handed bats. And really the Royals, with the way their lineup's built today, can really only threaten pitchers that have issues with right-handed bats. If you're good against righties, you can mow down this lineup because their left-handed bats aren't a threat either by any means. Jose Berrios is absolutely filthy versus right-handed bats. And this Royals lineup, again, is filled with right-handed bats and a few lefties that don't really scare you. So, it's tough to imagine. I mean, unless maybe he's dealing with some nerves in his first start here, tough to imagine him having issues wiggling through this lineup, considering how good he is versus right-handed bats. Now, Brad Keller, of course, the other end, is another type of pitcher that has good and bad, more bad than good. Will probably be challenged by this lineup, but no Vlad. That does impact us a bit. Overall, it's kind of tough for me to love anything in this game based on the way the current line sits and certain factors coming in. So I'm going to pass on this one, Joey, but is there anything you like?
Yeah, I'm going to pass as well. This is, the Blue Jays are back at home in Toronto, though. This game is in Rogers Center. Obviously, the Royals have seen a lot of Jose Berrios, being that they were in the same division. And the Royals have been pretty good. Another team pretty good since the All-Star break, 9-5 overall. And basically, they've been relying on their pitching. 7 of their 10 games have gone under the total, the last 7 of 10. And Brad Keller, he's pitched good as of late. It's not somebody I really trust. He struck out 26 his last 29 innings in those 4 starts, only allowed 7 runs in his last 4. So he has pitched good, hasn't faced any of his Toronto bats. We'll see if they can fare well, but I expect them to pitch probably about 6 innings, give up 2, probably 3 runs. But at the price, I'm just off this game.
Okay. Yeah, we can move over to Detroit, Baltimore. So Tigers, Orioles, Tyler Alexander, Spencer Watkins. I won't go into this much because I do know you got to play here, Joey, especially since Holden spoiled it earlier. But maybe explain the play and why you like it.
Yeah, so Spencer Watkins, he finally got his chance in the majors this year. He pitched 7 years in the minors, slowly building up his repertoire. Now he's finally here. He's been all right. 4 starts, total 19 innings, allowed 7 runs, 9 walks, 14 strikeouts. He obviously needs to limit his walks if he wants to stay up here and to succeed at the big league level. But luck has been somewhat on his side as well. He's given a decent amount of hard contact, but his advanced numbers are, decent as well. And then Tyler Anderson going for the Tigers, he's pitched out of the bullpen primarily this year until July 17th when they made him a starter, his first start. I'm pretty sure this is his 4th start. None of his starts he's pitched more than 4 innings. Only 1 start he even pitched 4 innings. And in the 3 starts previously, he's allowed 8 runs in 11 total innings. So the Orioles are pretty good versus lefties as well, and their bullpen is definitely the better of the 2 bullpens here. So at a plus money, I'm going to take the Orioles. They've been playing really good since the break, as I mentioned, 9-4 since the All-Star break. So I get them a nice plus price here. So I'm going to take the Orioles plus 120 here on the money line.
Nice. Like it. Okay, so Mets, Reds, Marcus Stroman, Vladimir Gutierrez. I continue to say this about Stroman. I'm just not a Stroman guy. I know his numbers are good. His advanced numbers are pretty good as well. They're not as good as his surface stuff or surface shows, but a guy that relies on getting ground balls. And just when he's not, he's just, again, not the same pitcher. A few guys sitting for the Reds today, including Joey Votto. This lineup does look a bit different than we're used to seeing. Meanwhile, the Mets lineup looks pretty juicy today. So, I don't have a crazy issue back in the Mets, but now that the line's inflated another 30 cents in their favor. Gutierrez has been a tough pitcher to watch. Weighted OBA of 350 versus lefties and righties. Sample size is growing pretty large too, so it's hard to look past some of his woes as a pitcher. And again, this lineup for the Mets now, especially with Baez, doesn't have too many free outs. You even got like Kevin Pillar batting seventh. But with that said, they are still sitting a few guys at the bottom of the lineup because, guys like Drury, Pillar don't always start every day against right-handed pitching, and here they are at the bottom of the lineup along with Thomas Nido. So overall, nothing I really love in this game. I think the line makes sense. Even though I'm not a Stroman guy, I think the line does make sense. And in terms of the over, look, you can bet it at 9, but my thing is this total would be 9 if both these teams were starting their fully healthy lineups, and they're not. So that makes it even tougher for me to want to back it. So I guess slight lean under in that case, but my own personal biases make it tough. Gutierrez is not a good pitcher, and I'm not a Stroman guy, so that makes it tough for me to fire on that bet. But any thoughts here, Joey?
Yeah, I'm with you. The Reds are going for the sweep here. I watched Vladimir Gutierrez pitch, a couple times this year, and I haven't been that impressed. He's left his off speed up on multiple occasions, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't throw the ball over like 90. His fastball is not over 30, 93, 94 miles an hour. So I've seen him get hit hard. And, Stroman, again, a ground ball heavy pitcher in a pitcher's park. Should work out here versus somewhat of a watered down Cincinnati lineup, but I'm not lying minus 200 with the Mets. So I'm off this game.
Okay. Yeah, we could slide over to the Marlins Yanks, your team, Joseph. Looks like Sandy Alcantara, Jordan Montgomery. It's going to be Sandy Alcantara, Joey? Because
I think so, yeah.
Is there a chance maybe they pull him? Because I'm still seeing undecided on ESPN, but certain lines show Alcantara.
Yeah.
Either way, assuming it's Alcantara, this is one of those games, and I'm interested in your thoughts here, Joey, that I think you can look at right away and assume under. However, this total of 7 is by far the lowest number in this series for these two teams. And yes, these two teams aren't hitting, and yes, the Yankees are sitting a few guys today, but they're sitting a few guys today because they're loading up with lefties. Why? Because Sandy Alcantara is absolutely filthy against right-handed bats. He's a little bit of the opposite versus lefties. He's got good home road splits. But again, he's a typical guy that gets challenged by NL, teams. This team, even in its current state, with Gardner at the bottom and Tyler Wade at the bottom, still probably better than most lineups Alcantara is seeing or has seen this season. All in all, I just think this is a really low number for this park. I mean, low number for the Yankees bats specifically. And I don't know what this Marlins lineup is. It's not released yet, which makes me think even more to the fact that there might be something going on with Alcantara. Either way. Assuming he does go and this lineup is at least somewhat what we'd expect from the Marlins, it's hard because the under does make sense, but this total is super low compared to the other games in this series. So overall, I'll pass on it, and I can't bet the Yanks here. What are they, minus 150? You have to lay half run first 5. I don't want to do that, especially if it's Alcantara, because he is a good arm. So overall, I'm going to stay away. But you have any thoughts here, Joey?
Yeah, so the Yankees go for the sweep. Mr. Rizzo has fit in quite well. He's hit a homer in his 2 games, and not in the friendly confines of Yankee Stadium. This is in Lone Depot Park in Miami. So Jordan Montgomery for the Yankees. Now he's batting first in the lineup today as well. Montgomery, he's pitched really good as of late. Supposedly he's working with CeCe Sabathia and Andy Pettitte during the All-Star break to, sharpen his skills. And it looks like it's helped. Now he gets one of the worst teams against lefties, bottom 3 in runs scored, on base percentage, and slugging. Plus they lost 2 key bats in Marte and Duvall. Obviously, you mentioned Alcantara. He's been decent as of year, but he has struggled as of late. He's averaging less than 5 innings a start this whole year. And then his last couple starts, his last 4 out of 5 starts, he's allowed at least 3 runs, and 1 start he allowed 4 runs. So he gets, somewhat, I guess, the Yankees lineup's not fully in there today, but as you mentioned, a lot of lefties in there. So maybe if you want to lay the 1.5 on the run line, I'm nothing official here, but lean would be maybe the 1.5, or just take, as you mentioned, if you like the under, rather than full game, just take the first 5. You could get first 5 at 4 rather than the 7 full game. So I'm not totally against that either.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think it's one of those games where I think you look at it quick and you're like, oh wow, only 4 that hasn't been runs in this series. I look at, you look at the Yankees lineup, the Marlins lineup isn't even out yet, but isn't even going to matter. But again, I mean, Alcantara hasn't been the same pitcher versus lefties, that's for sure. So it makes sense that the Yanks are loading up lefties here, despite, maybe, of course, a downgrade with some of their bats, but Alcantara is not the same pitcher versus lefties. Okay, so Braves, Brewers, Charlie Morton, Brett Anderson. So, yeah, the lone play I gave out yesterday was the Brewers' first 5. Now this line, it almost seems like swung a bit too far in the Braves' favor. I know Morton's been good. Anderson's a bit smoke and mirrors. And this Braves lineup, I mean, woof, you look at how it looks now. I mean, I know that today specifically they might be sitting a few bats, especially at the bottom of the lineup. But, man, when this team's starting all their guys, I mean, you're looking at a lineup that's Adam Duvall's probably going to be hitting 7th. Jorge Soler is going to be hitting like 8th. Dansby Swanson 6th. This lineup is now stacked. Jock Peterson at the top against right-handed pitching. Today, of course, they're sitting a few guys, and the same with the Brewers. And the Brewers are without Yelich. But, again, it's still not a bad lineup by any means. Overall, I think this line's moved a bit too far in favor of the Braves. I would have a lean, taking a half run with the Brew Crew first 5. But it would be only a lean. It wouldn't even be a bet I love because, again, this Braves lineup is tough to want to bet against. Especially when you look at how the Brewers lineup looks today, and we know how the advanced stuff looks on Anderson, and he's probably due for some regression this second half. So I'm going to pass on this game. But Joey, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm somewhat with you as well. Brett Anderson actually pitched pretty well this year, and the Braves have somewhat struggled versus lefties, middle of the pack, in all major offensive categories. As you mentioned, Brewers are missing Christian Yelich. Also, Jace Peterson is on the COVID list. But they did get Eduardo Escobar from Arizona, and Lorenzo Cain is also back with the team. I think this is his first series back with the team. Obviously, Atlanta, added Solar and Duvall, and they're both in the lineup, but they still are missing, Peterson's not in there, and they are missing a couple other bats, but slight leans towards Atlanta. But Brett Anderson has pitched pretty good this year, so it's kind of scaring me away. Lineup's probably about even as they are right now, so it's just a slight lean there, nothing official.
So Larry Thomas has commented, need to get your dad back on the show. His picks are money, and he keeps the show interesting. Have you not been following the contest, Larry Thomas?
Clearly not.
So my father had his floor wiped out from under him in a 10-game sample. Sure, it's just that, but I guess recency bias from Larry will give him the benefit of the doubt. That's fine. And then Steve as well. Where's the star of the show, Facts Man? Look, you guys can all eat my ass. I mean, this show will move forward, whether it's with him, without him, with Holden, without Holden. We just push forward. The train continues to move.
That's right.
And also, folks, feel free to comment on games you like, games you don't like. I mean, the chat's a little light overall. I mean, while I can appreciate Larry and Steve's comments, let's keep the chat flowing a bit. I'll answer questions. We'll answer questions. Personal, could be baseball, could be anything. We're here. We're here to answer questions. Sanjay knows. Another one. You guys, I feel like some people need to go on chat timeout today. Don't make me start blocking people in the live chat today. I'll do it. I'm not in the mood for this shit this morning. Well, this afternoon, depending on the time you're watching. All right, so let's move on to the next game. White Sox, Indians, Jimmy Lambert, Cal Quantrill, totals up to 9.5. White Sox $1.60. So like Holden said, one of Holden's best bets was over 9.5. The issue, though, that I brought up was the umpire that's umping this game is actually 4-15 in favor of unders. Now, again, it's not something I typically will weigh alone to handicap a game, but to me, that would scare me hell of enough off. Wanting to bet an over for this game. But I don't have much thoughts on this regardless. Joey, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, looks like the wind. I'm pretty sure the wind's blowing straight out to right.
Look at this. You see what we do, Joey?
Holden, not my best bet. Okay, well, he gave out 4 different plays, so we couldn't tell. But Quantrill has been really good, especially late. His last 3 starts, pitched 6 innings in all 3 of them, only 1 earned run in all 3 of them. I know he's getting this White Sox team is definitely better than, he pitched against, I think, in Oakland, St. Louis, and Tampa Bay. So, I mean, the White Sox lineup's definitely a little better. They got Cesar Hernandez back in there, but they're still like the bottom of the lineup is nothing crazy. Sebi Zavaya is in there. I don't even know who that is. Catcher. They might actually. I think they just called him up. But excuse me. Holden's fucking dancing me.
Holden Holden. Where's Holden? This is what he does. Am I next, Joey?
Yeah. I already had the COVID like a couple months ago. I'm good, ready to go. So did you. We're just passing between us. I guess I lean over as well, but Quantrill's been good. Essentially a bullpen game for Washington. Like who's the guy you mentioned that's starting? Because I'm seeing Ronaldo Lopez.
Well, ESPN shows Jimmy Lambert, but yeah, I guess odds makers are showing.
Lambert's probably opener, and then Ronaldo Lopez is probably going to pitch as long as he gives up 5 runs. So I'm not totally against Holden's look, but I got no play in this game.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, at least we have the chat going a little bit so far.
We got crazy Zuder needs a lock.
Last 2 minutes. Yeah, at least we got some people commenting. I mean, it's not hard. It's not hard to type a little bit. Even like the video too. You know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna call anybody anything in the chat. Remember the one time Holden did that? That didn't really work out well for Holden. So Kyle, my guy, first of all, you're right to a certain extent about the second part, not the first part. I'm not cranky. The chat made me cranky today. Okay, the chat comes in here asking for my dad to come on the show like he's like, one of God's 12 disciples. I mean, I'm sorry, but the show moves on. Okay, you guys should all understand this at this point.
Crazy Zuder needs a lock. I'll give you one place that has a lock, and that's Home Depot.
There you go, Zuder.
There you go.
Go into Google Maps or Waze or whatever stupid GPS app you use. Go find yourself a local Lowe's or Home Depot, and you'll get what you're asking for. All right, so let's move to the next game. Cardinals Twins, Adam Wainwright, Michael Pineda. Wainwright, Joey, a guy that just consistently finds ways to get outs, doesn't throw gas by any means. There's probably middle schoolers that throw harder than Adam Wainwright these days. But again, kudos to him, continues to get outs. This Cardinals lineup is so much better than like how they've actually looked this year, but I guess that's the convo for another time. Twins lineup looks a little today. I guess this is going to be what their lineup looks like moving forward. What do you think on this one with Pineda and Wainwright, National League Park, Twins heading there? Any thoughts on the total or the game here?
Yeah, I mean, minus 150 is, I guess, it's probably too much for the Cardinals. I don't know if I would lay minus 150. I get it at home. Wainwright is much better pitcher at home. And this Twins team has gone through, a little changes here. Their lineup, obviously, their team stinks record-wise. If you look at the record, the team stinks. But lineup-wise, it slowly has been watered down. Under-over set at 8. Pineda has been good as of late. I thought he was, trying to pitch his way out of Minnesota. Maybe they would trade him, but he is still here, and he looks like he keeps putting out weight. His belly gets bigger and bigger every friggin' start. But I mean, St. Louis's offense often disappears as well, as you mentioned. Like their offense looks good on paper, and then they go up there and put up 1 run through 9. You're like, what the F is going on? But I got nothing strong. I guess I wouldn't be totally against, backing Minnesota at a nice plus juicy price as a dog.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I have nothing myself on that game at all. Rangers, Mariners, Foltynewicz, Marco Gonzalez. Folty got lit up his last start, right? I mean, I guess you could, make that argument for any one of a number of his starts this season. Marco Gonzalez, though, has been good and bad, I guess. He has shown some good this season. But certainly regressed away from what he's been maybe 2019, 2020 and prior. So this spot here for me, again, you look at two teams where the lineups are going to be, actually they're out, they're, watered down, but I guess these lineups are always going to be watered down because these teams just don't have enough talented bats at the top or the bottom anymore. Mariners at minimum at least find ways to score runs or have found ways to score runs. Texas yesterday had themselves a decent game. Was it Heim that had 2 homers, or one of the guys for Texas had 2 homers, came back late and won. I know you have 2 bad pitchers here, but for me, call it a strong lean, first 5 under. It should be 4.5, either slight dog money or like minus 105. This is more to do with the bats that are in these lineups, much similar to the Cubs-Nats. I just like the Cubs-Nats one more. But again, I know you're getting 2 bad arms. It is somewhat of a pitcher's park now in Texas, which is kind of crazy to me because a few years back, this was one of the best hitters' parks in all of baseball. It used to be American League Coors. However, now it's not. And again, for me, this has more to do with the sticks that are in these lineups versus the pitching. Its total is about a little high, all things considered. So for me, a slight lean under first 5. What do you think, Joey?
Yeah, so, I mean, Texas stinks versus lefties. Obviously, they lost their biggest bat in Joey Gallo, but Marco hasn't really been a bet-on pitcher this year. ERA in the mid-5s. He's allowed 7 homers in his last 5 games, and it's the Rangers team erupted for 7 runs in 3 innings against him on July 3rd. Folty's really where I want to attack. His demeanor and want to win isn't there. I stated this like 2 months ago on my solo YouTube video. Like, he just doesn't want to be there. Once there's a home run, like a fielder makes an error, you see him, and he is a freaking head case. He gets in his head. He literally immediately gets in his head. Like, a couple months ago, I think the shortstop made an error, and he just stared. He stood off the mound and stared into the stands for like a minute until the umpire's like, "What the hell are you doing? Let's go." So, and even the last start, in his last 2 starts, he gave up 15 total earned runs. He gave up 10 earned runs, I think, last start, and 5 the start before that. 7 homers in those 2 starts, a total of 6 innings. He allowed 4 earned runs versus Seattle back on July 4th. And the Mariner team is playing like really, really scrappy ball as of late. They were very upset when they traded the reliever to Houston because they figured they were in an aspect to win this year. They thought they could possibly go off, make a wild card here. And I mean, the team is 56-49. They're definitely impressive. So I rather than cap what Marco Gonzalez is going to do, I'm going to take the Mariners team total over 4.5 -110 here. I think they realistically get 5 runs off Folty. Being that they're a away team, they get a full 9 at bats. And then I'm not afraid of the Rangers bullpen either. So via BetMGM, over 4.5 team total for the Mariners is going to be one of my plays.
Awesome. So, I mean, that's kind of like the first game we have a slight disagreement on. And it's slight because that team total could get there and the first 500 could get there. So, yeah. No, but I can't argue the look. Folty's been so bad. What was I going to say? I saw one of the comments. Oh, not this one. Oh, I'll put that one back, I guess. Umpire stats. So StatFox, James. You can get umpire information from statfox.com. Okay, so where is the real contest winner? It's like my dad. It's like my dad walks on water in this chat. I mean, who fucking hosts this show? Who hosts the show? I need to go back on my medication. That's what I need, Joey. I need to go back on mine. So I guess I can't mind the look with the team total for Seattle because Folty's just been real tough to watch.
Yeah, we got a couple nice comments towards us though. Adam Nace, appreciate you. What's this other guy? F and Bob.
Yeah, I mean there's some real ones in the chat. Not these Faxman burners that are just unreal in the chat today.
Ricky Chan, appreciate you.
You guys are all good. I mean, I'm just messing with the folks that. Actually, no, I'm not just messing with the folks. Forget that.
Yeah.
You wanna come on this show and trash talk me and Joey? I mean, it's an easy way to get a boot. Easy way to get a boot. All right. Giants Astros. Joey, I know this is a spot you like a lot, so I'll let you just dive into this one.
All right. So game 1 and game 2 obviously offered lots of runs. 9-6 game 1, 8-6 game 2. This is Luis Garcia versus Logan Webb. Rookie Luis Garcia. He's been nothing short of great, and this is his first full season in the majors. I know he pitched a little bit last year in the shortened season, but he has 17 starts this year, 3.19 ERA, 96 innings, 114 strikeouts. So he's striking out, obviously, more than a batter per inning, and he barely walks anybody. He has under 8% walk rate. This will be his second start time facing an NL team. He did face the Dodgers at home and pitched really good. This is obviously his first on the road, as I mentioned. And I think he has some success here. His advanced numbers have been really good. He continues to limit hard hit contact and exit velocity. And Logan Webb, so if you look at his numbers, they're pretty good as well, but he hasn't pitched nearly the level of offense as a Garcia pitched. He pitched against, the Dodgers and Padres, so we'll throw those out. But then that's the only scary offenses he faced. In 13 starts, he played Colorado twice, Cincinnati twice, Miami, Washington, Texas, and Washington. So Washington twice, Cincinnati twice, Colorado twice. I mean, Miami, Texas, like those teams don't scare me. So he relies on his sinker about 30% of the time. Doesn't really have an overpowering fastball either. I think he struggles versus a very good offensive team here. On the road, they're getting all 9 at bats. So I'm taking the better offense. In my eyes, definitely the better starter as well. Get him at plus 100. So Astros money line plus 100 via DraftKings or FanDuel. They have the same number. So I'm definitely interested in the Astros, and that'll be one of my plays as well.
And just to be clear, I'm just messing around with you folks in the chat. It creates good banter. Feel free to knob slob my father as much as you'd like, but you will continue to get shit on from me on this show if you continue to do so. So Joey gave us. So that's your third. That's all 3 bets from you, right, Joey?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Angels Athletics. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joey. These are 2
Rookies.
minor league pitchers going head to head.
Yes.
Look, to me, you want to pick this game to bet. I mean, you're likely somewhat of a degenerate.
Yeah.
I mean that in the most respectful way, though. I think if you want to bet the game, bet the game. But to me, you have like 14 other games to choose from today. Why you want to choose a game where it's one minor league pitcher against another, to me, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But again, to each his own. If maybe you followed one of these kids up through the minors and maybe you want to back them for fun, sure. But for me personally, there's not enough data on either of these kids, in my opinion, and nothing to make you love it. But what do you think here, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about it. So Jeffries is going for the Athletics, 12 starts in AAA. He had a 5.19 ERA, 59 innings. But, all his minor league numbers before this year were pretty good. This is actually his second MLB start. Detmers, it'll be his first. He got a spot start back in 2020. He didn't fare very well. I want to watch this guy personally before backing him. I do think he can have some success here, but I definitely, as you mentioned, I'm not betting on this game. And then Detmers is a lefty coming from Louisville, big boy, 6'2", almost 220. This is his major league debut. He only pitched in AA. So he had 1 start in AAA, which was the last one. They called him up to AAA. It was the last start. He pitched really good, 6 innings, 3 hit ball, 9 strikeouts. He's doesn't have overpowering fastball, which does somewhat scare me. He's straight from Louisville, basically. He pitched in Louisville, then pitched AA. I think he pitched maybe a full season in AA, then 1 AAA start, and now he's already into the majors. So they kind of, expedited his process here because the Angels need as much pitching as they can get. But so I'm somewhat curious how his game from Louisville translates to MLB. So obviously uncertainty of these 2 starting pitchers. This is just a game that I'm actually very interested in to watch, but I will not be betting.
The good part with Detmers, pending how good he is, especially against right-handed bats, Oakland, believe it or not, has really struggled with lefties this year, which is kind of surprising how many right-handed bats they have. But yeah, just a little heads up. Okay, so Padres, Rockies. I don't see a listed starter yet for the. You guys see somebody for the Padres, Joey? Looks like Kenner. I don't know if the K's silent, the N's silent.
Reese Kenner. Yeah.
But neither's silent.
Kyle Alexander, if you go to BetMGM, they still have -110 for that 4.5 for the Mariners. Sorry.
No, all good. So I don't have much data on him specifically. Austin Gomber for the Rocks. And I know that I think if Holden's still watching in his bubble, I believe this was Holden's best bet, Joey. I don't really know, though. Maybe.
Yeah, money line, first 5. Yeah.
So we'll write that in for you, Holden. Holden's best bet. Rockies first 5, even though he chose to jump in at a price 50 cents different than what it was last night. Plus 130. First 5 money line plus 130. Okay, so if you watch the show from the beginning, I think Holden gave an explanation, or did he just say, "What do you guys? I like first 5 Rockies. What do you think?" Was that what he said?
That's what he said.
Okay. Oh no, he said the records. He chose a sample size of exactly 53 games, and said that over the last 53 games, I mean, how far back do you think he had to go to find that stat? Because he's like, over the last 53 games specifically, the Rockies have a better record than the Padres.
He went back until they had a better record.
he just kept going. So overall, Holden likes the Rockies first 5 here at the dog tag. I can't mind it. Padres losing Tatis is a shame, of course. And it looks like they're going to try to see what he can do in the next 10 days. Otherwise, they may put him on the season-ending IL. But either way, just a shame overall. MVP looked like it was in his cards for him this season. But either way, any thoughts here, Joey?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not totally against taking the first 5 with Holden here. Kenner, nothing special. Even in the minors, nothing in the minors. His numbers are that good. He, expedited his process through the minors basically too. He's been in there for 3 years. This is his 3rd year in professional baseball. So he went, rookie ball A, AA. He barely pitched he pitched in AAA this year, only 2 starts. He mainly came up through actually in AA and AAA this year. So he went from single A to AA, AAA this year, all the way to the majors. He did pitch one start versus the same Colorado team, July 9th, 3 2/3, 200 runs, and he walked 4 people. So he definitely having problems with the zone, and that's something he had problems with in the minors as well. So issuing free passes is definitely not something good. Padres versus lefties, probably about middle of the pack, nothing special. So I'm not totally against Holden's look here, but I got nothing official.
All right, so D-backs, Dodgers. I am very interested in what this Dodgers lineup looks like today, because if they're even sitting 1, 2, or 3 guys, the under 9.5 or even under first 5 to me will look very strong. This Diamondbacks lineup is woof levels today. I mean, woof levels. I mean, you got Drew Ellis in the 3-hole, Reddick hitting 5th. Reddick usually hits 8th. Byron Holiday. So they're sitting. It looks Jake Hager hitting 6th. They're basically sitting. First of all, this lineup isn't good as it is, and I know they get Ketel Marte back today, but this lineup isn't really good as it is, and they're sitting about 4 guys. So I mean, woof levels when you look at this lineup. Urias should be able to pitch well, but he's another kind of somewhat head case, right? A young kid, young lefty that throws hard. But you watch some of his starts, and some things are question marks for sure. I don't know what his K prop is. I'd assume it's like 7.5-ish. I wouldn't mind that either. Again, this lineup, just woof levels for the D-backs. Again, if you can get a Dodgers lineup where they platoon a few guys against Caleb, to me, the first 5 under would make a lot of sense, which will probably be 5-ish. But Joey, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm totally with you here. We got Drew Ellis. You must have just got called up in the 3 spot here for the Diamondbacks. Drew Ellis, and they got Jake Hager, Vashlo, Holiday. Ugh, is right. And the Dodgers definitely have struggled to score runs at times as well, especially, more than likely versus lefties here too, on the road. I'm not totally against it. I'm obviously not laying the price with the Dodgers -2 and change on the Dodgers money line. And I wouldn't even lay – I'm sure the first 5 is probably juiced up too. You probably even have to lay a full run in first 5. So I'm definitely not going there either. I think they got back. Seager's back, right? Or did Seager play yesterday? Or
He was back on Friday. So I don't know.
Back?
Yeah, but he was back Friday.
Okay, yeah. And then they definitely got the new additions. I'm not sure if he can play or not because I think he's on the COVID list, right? The guy they got from Washington.
Turner, yeah.
Yeah. I think he's still on the COVID list, so I don't think he's in the lineup. But, yeah, I think the only look is first 5 under here. Definitely, I'm not interested in the D-backs. I'm definitely not laying the juicy price with the Dodgers.
Yeah, so again, just to be clear from my end, if the Dodgers are sitting 1 or 2 guys, it's never going to be a fire for me, first 5 under. It'll likely be 5-ish. It'll likely move a bit, but I'll eat that movement knowing I get a few extra guys sitting versus, they start a full lineup and the Dodgers score 5 themselves in the first 5. Okay, so next game. Last game.
Monday Night Baseball.
Rays, Red Sox, Shane McClanahan, Nick Pivetta. I find myself, Joey, I don't know if this is for you. I find myself, the pitchers for the Rays and Red Sox, I don't really like any of them at all. Any of them. Now, I know that the one pitcher is hurt for the Rays. I can't think of his name.
Glass now. Yeah.
So he's fine for me. But the other guys, it's all I don't.
He's not fine for me either. I've faded him and won a lot of money.
I know
because he's so juicy.
I know McClanahan. You watch him pitch. He's got good stuff. He goes some severe heat. And, when his slider's working, it's another good out pitch for him as well. But he has some severe location issues and home run issues. He's young, though. I'm sure that'll even itself out or round out. Here, Nick Pivetta and him, total 8.5. It is tough not to like a first 5 over. I said this yesterday that the first 5 over made sense with the 2 arms. But, again, I do have a little bit of bias towards some of these arms in a negative way. So it does impact my thoughts on how these games play out or could play out. I know McClanahan's been pitching really well, and he's in the middle of a very good stretch for him, and certainly his standards early on in his career. He will get challenged here, though, against a bunch of tough righties for the Sox. And Nick Pivetta, he's had a good year, but, I've said this before. You throw a righty at this Rays lineup as is, and it is tough. It is tough maneuvering through it. A lefty has much more of an easier time against this Rays lineup. Now with Nelson Cruz, I guess it gets a little tougher. But either way, there is just a lot of pop in these lineups, no free outs, and yeah, I think for me, you could go right back to the 4.5 well. The only reason I don't like it is I do have these 2 pitchers ranked higher than the 2 pitchers that went head-to-head yesterday. And yet the total's the same. So For me, I don't like it as much. I had it as a strong lean yesterday, called a slight lean today, first 5 over. I do think you're likely going to need a home run or two to get this there, and you could with these two pitchers, but I'll pass on this unless it drops to like 8 and I can get a real good price on 4.5. But what do you think, Joey?
Yeah, pitcher's ballpark, but Pivetta, has given up 12 earned runs his last 3 starts. He pitched 4 innings in 2 of them and got to 6-1. So nothing really impressive. 2 of them were against Toronto, so take it with a grain of salt. Philly was the other one. But then he even got blown up against Kansas City. This is not really a guy I trust. The lineups, I personally think the Red Sox overall are a better team than the Rays. I know the records say something different. But now we got McClanahan, as you mentioned, a lefty. Boston's good or he's not a lefty, is he? Yeah, he is lefty. Boston's good versus lefties. He throws some serious heat, but he also always gets into trouble. He loads the bases, even versus the Yankees. Maybe not the last start time before that. He had the bases loaded. It was the first inning. The pitching coach comes out to talk to him already. He did get out of the inning. No runs scored. But he's puts himself in bad situations. Again, this is what are we at? 8.5 the under over here. Every game in this series has gone over. It was 7-3 first game. Yesterday was 9-5. So I know it's a pitcher's ballpark, but I definitely expect runs here. I think the Rays score. I think both teams score. I'm not totally against the first 5, but I personally would probably, when I'm betting overs, I'm more likely just go full game because I'm not the Rays bullpen does not scare me at all. One guy's on the DL. They just shipped Castillo out. I don't know why they shipped Castillo out. I don't know what the reasoning behind that was. They think they really have obviously confidence in the rest of the relievers. I personally do not. So slightly lean towards a full game over 8.5, but nothing. I haven't made a move there yet.
I'm looking at this. Is this like what book is this? To me, that's a borderline auto player. If that's a line you have, Jeff, somewhere, to me that's
got to be an offshore. There's no way that's.
I didn't realize Tampa. Oh, Tampa's now a huge favorite. That changed for me. I didn't realize that could be right, Joey. 3.5 could. Wow, that is. To me, that is a solid look. This is a real solid look. And it's probably DraftKings FanDuel. Now that I didn't realize McClanahan was up to 160.
BetMGM has -115, same number, 3.5.
Yeah, to me, guys, again, what you decide to bet, not decide to bet tonight, of course, is on you guys. But to me, yeah, as far as I know, I talked to total, but that is a strong lean for me, 3.5. Even if you get like a dry inning or two, McClanahan can get had. Once he sees the lineup the second time through, you can even do that live. That is a good look in my opinion. And thanks for posting that, Jeff. Anybody on the Phillies today? Yeah, we discussed it briefly. Joey leans the Phillies. I personally don't like betting teams on the road at heavy vig that kind of look out of form. Phillies haven't looked good the last few days. So I don't mind it, I guess. But yeah, and look, Mitch Keller can solve problems like that for teams in droughts for sure. But overall, thanks guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show and our guy Dexter. You can go fuck yourself too, Dexter.
I think he was rooting for us. Run pure, fuckers.
No, we love Dexter. Seriously, guys, we love the banter in the chat. Feel free to type whatever. No, nothing personal taken here. We're all family, and we all joke back and forth with each other. But of course, feel free to be more active in the chat. You guys were good today, so thanks for that. As always, gamble responsibly. We each gave you a few bets. Joey gave you 3. I gave you 1, and I gave you that strong lean at the end with the Red Sox over there. Their number at 3.5. So overall, as always, folks, be sure to gamble responsibly. We'll be back all week with content. You're going to be seeing Spread doing some tennis content throughout the week. And of course, I'll be back with baseball on Monday. Or Monday night, Joey will have you guys covered Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and then of course Thursday night I'll be back. And again, we'll just try to fill you guys up with content throughout. NASCAR's back next week, another UFC card next week. So another fun-filled week of sports content. And look, college football and NFL right around the corner. Overall, again, guys, thanks for watching. Stay safe, gamble responsibly, and as always, run pure. See you.